Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of 8 Brit, with 2 Brits and top 8s. I'm Chris.
And I'm Dan.
And today we're going to talk about...
the top 8 fire levels in gaming.
Yes, but basically just, if a game has fire stuff in it, that segment, it counts, okay?
Yeah.
That's
Don't get
the deal
pedantic with us about what counts as a level and what doesn't, because we're not going to listen to you.
So if there's fiery, lavary stuff, it's included. Quickly mention an amazing comment from Moltres Jr. He says he loves everything about this show. He loves us.
Yeah. That comment really made me smile, so thanks for leaving it. We do appreciate your comments, and you guys are great, so thank you very much.
And maybe have more moonwalking T-Rex.
I'll give him a different hat this week, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, on to the episode. Okay, so my number 8 is Hell from Mortal Kombat. So Hell's the name of a recurring level that's seen several incarnations throughout the series, and it's an infamous place in the games. The stage debuted in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and it was a fun stage to play on. You could do a stage fatality and uppercut them into the lava, which is nice and crispy. You fought Scorpion in Hell in a boss fight in Shaolin Monks, the spin-off. One fatality involved Scorpion being dragged into the lava by spooky skeletons, and he's constantly fighting out of it, using his spear to climb out, and then you whack a skeleton at him and he gives in and gives a thumbs up. Armageddon had a cool spin on Hell, as the main platform was a circular arena that's going down Hell, as you see people on fire falling down and stuff. You could knock your opponent into other platforms and fall back onto the main one, which was awesome. I like that in games, we can knock people around and stuff. But the main one, the main clip we're going to use here, we're going to have footage on screen. In Mortal Kombat 9, they brought it back and it looked really great and menacing, and this version, which you'll be seeing on screen right now. Lava everywhere, bodies on fire, spikes, hands coming out from the lava, there's a Cerberus in the background and it's crazy, and there's a ouchie stage fatality where you melt your opponent's face off in the lava. But it's really cool to fight in Hell, so yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah, Hell is a pretty epic place to go, because I don't know, it's Hell, innit? It's pretty much the ultimate fire level, really.
So yeah, your number 8, Dan?
Do you want my number 8? Okay, my number 8 is Corona Mountain from Super Mario Sunshine. Anyone else who's a fan of Super Mario Sunshine is probably wondering why I like Corona Mountain, because it's universally seems to be sort of hated and disregarded, but I kind of love it. It's like this one tiny little area, but to me it kind of sums up Super Mario Sunshine kind of perfectly, because it's a mix of two parts. It's a fun platforming area with flood mechanics mixed into it, and it's enjoyable. It's quite satisfying to sort of speed run through that little platforming bit if you're good at the game, and it kind of represents everything that is good about Sunshine, you know, the platforming, the flood, all of that stuff. When Sunshine works, then the second half is a broken, horrible mess with bad physics, and to me represents everything that's bad about Super Mario Sunshine.
Wait, is that the boss fight?
No, that's the boat.
Wait, I'm confused. So I thought Corona Mountain started out with the boat.
No. It starts out with it's like a platforming segment with some of the platforms have like fire coming out that you have to spray. Some of them have like
that's right.
spikes going up and down, and it's fun. And then you get in the boat, and it's a broken, horrible mess because the boat doesn't steer properly. Yeah. And also, why is there a boat that's made of wood that can float on lava? What? It's just this like.
Well, why can Mario throw fireballs in water?
It's true, but it's just kind of like this representation of everything that's nonsense in Mario Sunshine, and I kind of love it. It's
and then there's the bit where you rocket up the clouds.
Yeah, then there are clouds that I assume are meant to be steam. I'm not including the weird bathtub boss fight because that's above Corona Mountain. That's technically not the same thing.
Well, I'm sure the bath is really hot, so that could count.
Also, that boss fight is hilarious in its ridiculousness, so I kind of also love that. But yeah, Corona Mountain, it's fun to me. Also, the blue coins are a great challenge. Everyone hates them, but they're a great challenge, aren't they? Let's be honest here.
Sure.
7!
Batman? I was number 7 now. Batman. Who let Bane in?
So yeah, my number 7 is the temple level in World 2 of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Tumbling Temple. It's 2 2-K they call it. I was brushing up on my knowledge of this game since it's been a few years since I played it, and I basically got to the conclusion that this is my favourite fiery lava level in the game. I love levels with a sense of urgency, and this has platforms constantly falling and sinking in the lava, so you have to wait and react quickly, and I find that to be really engaging and fun. But thing is, the level isn't too hard, which means not much aggravation, unlike World 6's Perilous Passage, which I lost a bajillion lives to, so I prefer Tumbling Temple. Plus, the Volcano World levels are fun and cool and tricky, but I prefer Tumbling Temple for sure. But yeah, this level has constant jumping, successive bumping on enemy heads, grabby grass things, which I really like, and it's a fun mechanic, and you climb up sinking structures, and it's really exhilarating. Yeah, that's my number 7.
Hey, I enjoyed that level. I thought it was really good, but it doesn't quite make my list because I think that Donkey Kong Country Returns has better lava levels to offer, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah, I was debating that, but this is my favourite, definitely.
It definitely is a very good level, though. All of those sort of special levels that are later unlocks are a lot of fun because they are just so...
Except for Perilous Passage.
Really? I don't remember Perilous Passage. Is it?
It was lava
genuinely
sinking
infuriating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like Tumbling Temple.
Yeah, it's a good level. Enjoyable.
Your number 7?
My number 7. Oh, my number 7 comes from a classic game. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what? Oh, it's Billy Hatcher.
God. Is
the
it...
classic.
Yeah.
It's Dino Mountain from Billy Hatcher. It's not the best level that the game has to offer. For anyone wondering, that's Pirate Island, because Pirate Island is awesome. But Dino Mountain, it's got really good theming. It's got decent enemies. It's got some fun missions. You can find Rickole, the awesome kangaroo who spits fire, and he's pretty useful. It has a good battle mode sort of stage as well that's quite fun to play on. Just in general, Dino Mountain is great. It's fun. It's Billy Hatcher, dude. Billy Hatcher. It's great.
I've got nothing on this. I saw
there's
the
dinosaurs. There's dinosaurs knocking about. There's if I remember rightly, the music is really irritating, but that's okay. It's just it's fun. It's Billy Hatcher and it's fun. I don't really have much to say on this one, but
Billy Hatcher the end.
Billy Hatcher the end.
And there's
obligatory,
fire, so yeah.
obligatory Billy Hatcher shout out. Also, there's fire. Yeah, so yeah, cool level, good game. Billy Hatcher, top notch.
6.
My number 6 is a very fun level from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It is Lava Reef Zone. You've got breaking through boulders, things that launch you, fire being spat at you, switches, weird robots that look high and trying to engulf you in their fumes.
Sorry, can we just rewind? Weird robots that look high.
Yeah, you can zoom in on the thing if you want or whatever. They look high. There's things you rev on to move up and down, there's spike traps, exploding rock enemies, and you guessed it, lava! You often have to jump from platform to platform, some which break after you step on them, to avoid the lava unless you have the fire shield, and in this level it becomes a hell of a lot easier because you become impervious. I like the look of the level, like some sort of mining thingy going on, or something with machines being seen throughout the rocks, and there's a mini-boss digging, for example. The music's very nice, even if it doesn't fully suit the area in my opinion, but it's great anyway. There's a nice attention to detail where you see the Death Egg in the background of Sonic's story, but not in Knuckles, which is nice. Knuckles gets his own level as well, with a unique layout. Act 2 involves the stage basically hardening, so the lava hardens and sort of freezes over, but there's still fire and stuff, so don't worry, there's still fire. There's a boulder being thrown at you, which leads you into the boss. An Eggman, Robotnik, is on your tail, launching missiles on the platforms, and you have to avoid the lava below, and it's really hard. But yeah, great bosses, levels fun, it's great.
Yay! I have never played it, so I have nothing to add. I had a quick look,
just zoom in on the high robot.
Yeah, the high robot is a good reason to put it on your list, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want my number 6?
Yeah, what's your number 6?
My number 6, we're going back to Donkey Kong Country Returns here for Hot Rocket. I'd say Returns has a really good sort of set of options for this list, but to me it was a toss-up between Hot Rocket and Roasting Rails. I ended up going for the former of the two because I really like the rocket barrel levels in Returns. The way they control and just everything about them feels really right to me. And with Hot Rocket, it's just, oh man, it's treacherous. It requires these like split-second reactions, or learning the whole pattern of the level, which is eventually what happens after a few attempts. And just generally, it keeps with the DK Country Returns like style of being brutally hard but still fair. Like, if you fail in this level, you know it was your fault. You know that you screwed it up. So it's kind of like, it doesn't feel annoying in its difficulty. And just in general, I really like those rocket levels. They're
really tricky.
They're so much fun.
They're really fun. I think I prefer the minecart ones, to be honest, and I nearly considered those two that you mentioned. But, so I prefer Tumbling Temple myself. But no, Hot Rocket's fun.
Yeah, Roasting Rails did come very close, because I quite like the minecart ones too. But then I was playing it out just to like test out the waters, and I played it, and I was just like, this one is too hard, because like for some reason Roasting Rails was just annoying me, and I rage quit, and then I was like, this doesn't make the list. Hot Rocket instead. So that was just the way I went with that, because sometimes that game is too hard.
5.
Okay, so the first proper dungeon in Wind Waker is my number 5, Dragon Roost Cavern, and it's a fun one at that. I like how the heat effects that are on display and the art style really emphasises that, because you really get the impression that it's really hot in there. There's fun puzzles in the dungeon which involve stuff like lighting torches and setting things on fire to progress and swinging your way through them using the item you get here, the grappling hook.
Grappling hook?
Yeah. It's a very fun item, even more so in the HD version when there's more fluid animations. So that's great. I also like how in the dungeon you can go outside too and look around when you're really high up, and that's pretty cool. About halfway through the dungeon, you're on this bridge in the inside of the cavern, quite high up, and looking down is pretty surreal. I think I always remember that. I remember taking a Miiverse shot of that myself.
What, you were just like, let me take a selfie?
I didn't take a selfie, it was just a shot.
Sad times.
Also, I always like how... cut this stupid out. I cut my stupid tongue out. Ugh. Also, I always like to see how much of the bridge I can break before it collapses, which... Like, you can slash away the little things.
Isn't that... There's a point where there's a bokoblin on the other side of one of the bridges on the outside area. And it's like the worst fight ever, because you're trying not to break the bridge while you fight him on the bridge. But inevitably you will always destroy the bridge and die. And it's just like, why?
Yeah.
But no,
that's cool. Just to finish up, I also like the mechanic of throwing the water pots. Rescuing Medley is fun. Grappling hook. Goma's a pretty fun boss as well. I like how he's basically annoying Valu's bum. But Dragon Roost Cavern is a great fiery dungeon.
I think, I can agree with that. I think it's pretty good. It nearly made my list, but it got knocked down by a few others. Do you want my number 5?
I do want your number 5.
My number 5 is Mount Doom from Lego Lord of the Rings. As a pretty big Lord of the Rings fan, I kind of had to put this on the list somewhere, because it's the climax of the epic story, and it's just as epic in Lego form with some added humour. Like, there's this one point where like Frodo's having this epic struggle to get up Mount Doom, and he hallucinates that Sam just has loads of ice lollies for no reason. Because just the Lego games have this really good sense of humour, and it carries across even in like the epic ending. The level in general has some quite good puzzles that mix Frodo and Sam's abilities, with the added complication that Frodo is pretty much useless throughout this whole level, because he's all weary because he's carrying the ring, and it's quite movie accurate, Frodo being totally annoying, whiny, and useless. Just in general, it's an epic level. It has a great conclusion to a great game, unless you're going for 100%, in which case it's not the conclusion in the slightest. It's about 30% through when you finish the story, because bloody Lego games with their stupid completion rates. But this level, it has a really fun boss fight with Gollum. It has some good elements to it. It's just, in general, it's a fun level, and it's epic, and it's quite a good fire level, because it's
Yeah.
like, to me, Mount Doom is like the volcano level, the epic fire thing at the end of this big trilogy.
I've got nothing to add except for I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
You should play Lego Lord of the Rings. It's good. It's a fun game.
Perhaps.
Top notch. I had fun.
4.
Okay, my number 4 is, oh look, a Star Fox level. But yeah.
What a
Anyway, this is the level
surprise.
that's yeah. Anyway, this is the level that's slap bang in the middle of the game in Star Fox 64, depending on your route anyway. But it's the Lilac System's sun, which means goddamn it's hot, but luckily this baby can take temperatures up to 9,000 degrees, so we don't burn instantly. But your health does constantly decrease throughout the level, which means shooting rocks for rings is very important, and this creates a very engaging and challenging level, which is great. Lava will rise, fire will burst in arcs, fire bat thingy creatures fly out in groups and try to wreck you. In some parts, those fire bats will come out in massive groups, which is a prime spot for a smart bomb, which is oh so satisfying. Also, the challenge of keeping your friends alive is of course still there, but perhaps harder as their energy drains too with the hot lava. And when they talk, it seems like their health seems to go down, so I'm like, sort of, shut up, stop talking, you're dying. At the end, the boss will emerge from the lava, and yes, Peppy, it is Andross's bioweapon. Volcane is the name of the boss, and basically looks like a hell demon thing, and it looks pretty intimidating. It's rather hard to dodge as well, so it's really hard, and with all the health decreasing, yeah, it's really challenging. You shoot off his arms, and then he spins right round like a record, and then there's fire everywhere, and you're shooting, but he's dead, but yeah, it's challenging. And also, if you help out Bill and Katina, he'll help you out here.
Cool.
Also, in the 3D remake, it looks really pretty, this level. So yeah.
Well, I had a quick look at the video you sent me, and it looks quite visually impressive for an N64 game. I mean, I'll never play it, but it was looking quite good. So I can see why this would make the list. Even, I mean, it obviously would because you're a big Star Fox fan, but like, I can understand why this one looks.
It's a great standalone level. Yeah.
Yeah, it did look quite good from the perspective of someone who doesn't really care about Star Fox. So, GG, well played, Nintendo.
What is your number 4, Dan?
What's my number 4? My number 4 is the reason we had sort of a disclaimer at the start saying, if it doesn't count as a level, shut up, we don't care. It's the burning house in Uncharted 3 in Chapter 7. So you just left this like spooky crypt underneath a huge mansion. You're pretty thankful that, the mansion hasn't crumbled to dust while you were there, because, everything Nathan Drake touches inevitably turns to rubble because he is a walking chaos machine. But, unfortunately, the villain who just left you for dead in the caves decides it's not good enough for him just to leave you to die with some evil little scorpion things or whatever it was. He decides he's got to be a fire starter, a twisted fire starter. So he starts burning the house down, and you and Sully have to escape this burning building. Like, there's fire at every turn, everything, like, every handhold you try and, like, grab onto crumbles as you do it, which is... that normally happens in Uncharted. Like, everything you try and climb on will, like, have a 50-50 rate of crumbling to dust as you touch it, but it actually makes sense in this one, so... because everything's on fire. But, it's a pretty epic, sort of level. It's cinematic. It's one of the highlights of Uncharted 3, I thought. Like, it was just a fun little bit.
Sounds epic.
Even the gunplay in that area is quite nice, because, like, all of the enemies are also panicking because, like, they're in a burning building and, you're shooting them, they're shooting you, everything's burning around you. It's pretty epic, and I had a lot of fun with it because I'm a fan of Uncharted, despite its huge amount of flaws. So, Chapter 7's burning house.
But it won't have any flaws if they're on fire.
Oh my god, I hate you.
3.
My number 3 is one of the more memorable levels in the Galaxy games, Freeze Flame Galaxy, and it mixes, as the name implies, both fire and ice to create fun levels. And yes, I know there's ice in this, but there's fire as well, so shut up. So just to go through the stars you get, your first star just involves the ice portion, so we'll ignore that. The second part is the fire parts, so you shoot off to Freeze Flame's blistering core, as the level is called. and you are surrounded by lava and fire enemies. And after a bit of exploration, you come across the fire flower power-up, which then lets you progress and flip upside down for like the second half of the level. And I really like the whole jumping up to reach the ceilings, gravitational pull, and then you flip and stuff. After lighting more torches, you bring up a wall-to-wall jump up in, wow, which you again flip. It's really cool to flip around like this, as I keep saying. And then you have rotating and moving platforms to traverse to get to the star, so it's a good stage. The highlight though is the third main star, called Hot and Cold Collide, in which the two elements mix for interesting level design. The opening bit has you skating on ice, and that little oval bit as great balls of fire melt the ice circle, which is rather rad. And then you launch into the Hot and Cold planet, as the Mario wiki names it, which sees you spin on the switch on the cold side to open the way to get to the hot side, and then you have to go through rising lava to go back to the cold side and go off into the final bit, which is my favourite part, which involves skating on ice and lava as Ice Mario, which is pretty cool, freezing the lava as you go on it. And this section has more flipping as well. Also, I find skating in the Galaxy games fun. So
yeah,
that's cool.
The skating is quite fun. So would you say this is a flipping good level?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
I'm good at jokes.
Just quickly, I considered Shiver Burn from Galaxy 2, but this did it first, so
yeah, that is. That was the real OG.
Yeah.
I'm in a similar position to you, actually, for my number 3.
Yeah, we both got something from Galaxy.
Yeah, my number 3 is the Melty Molten Galaxy. Like you, I nearly considered the Melty Monster Galaxy from Galaxy 2, but Melty Molten is kind of the classic for me. It always sort of stood out as one of the best levels in both of the Galaxy games. Like, it's visually impressive. It has some really great missions. The first one, the Perilous Lava Spire, is incredibly good looking. It's
great.
It's kind of challenging in parts, and especially when it comes into the Daredevil run, which I think is the only Daredevil comet in that whole game that isn't a boss fight, which was always interesting to me. One of the other things, like a highlight for that level, was the way that in the first area, as you sort of shoot off from this volcano, it explodes behind you, and like you're shooting out from it, and star bits are erupting with the lava, and it's just really cinematic and epic, and it's just cool, really satisfying to do. It also had a really good purple coin challenge, which the purple coin challenges in Galaxy were one of my favourite parts of that game, because they always felt quite tense, and like there was a lot of pressure to find them all and all that stuff. And just overall, it's one of my favourite levels in any of the Galaxy games. It's brilliant. I had a lot of fun with it, and Melty Molten Galaxy, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. I did consider it, but then I said screw it, because I actually had more fun with Freeze Flame. So,
fair enough.
And there's still fire in it, so yeah.
There's still fire in it. So yeah, we like Super Mario Galaxy, apparently.
Yes.
2.
Okay, so for my number 2, for this one, I'm specifically talking about Norfair from Super Metroid, and not the original game, though it is similar. Anywho, Norfair is the fiery, cavey area of planet Zebes. Zebes.
Is there Zebes?
Yes. And I really like the place in Super Metroid. Upper Norfair is the area you can reach pretty early on in the game. It mainly consists of areas that are inaccessible without the various suits. So if you go into Norfair without it, a newbie might go, oh crap, get out of there. Norfair is great at giving that sense of danger with the heat and the lava pools often beneath you. Some areas have you navigating across small platforms with enemies constantly on you, and it's tense and stuff. Norfair generally has that wavy heat effect going on in the background and glowing walls off the lava, which is really cool. There's also other areas of green bubble thingies in the background, which is a nice contrast, I guess. Also, the Crocomire mini boss is pretty cool as well. Quite a unique boss. You also get the grapple beam here, so not a grappling hook, but
not quite as good, but it's still got grappling involved.
Yeah.
So
Norfair has quite a lot of significant power-ups like the speed booster, ice beam, and so on. But the real star here is Lower Norfair, so there's like two sort of sections, and Lower Norfair generally has access later on with a beefier Samus. You'll see Ridley styled decor. Yeah, you see like his head sort of as a statue, and you go through there, sort of entering his lair. You go down through an elevator, and the awesome Lower Norfair song kicks in, which is reused in Prime's Magmore Caverns. I really like this track, and it sets the scene well. But yeah, Lower Norfair really ups the intensity with enemies and lava. and more awesome power-ups like the screw attack. The scenery gets more extravagant the closer you get to Ridley, which is a nice touch, and then the intense epic boss fight with Ridley is sure a highlight of the game. And after you see that baby Metroid capsule is broken, that's when you have a :O face. But yeah, no, Norfair is great.
Good. It's good, is it? Good.
It is good.
I don't know anything about Metroid, so I just sort of let you go there. Do you want my number 2?
Yes.
Oh man, my number 2. My number 2 is the Goron Mines from Twilight Princess, which I think is one of my possibly one of my favorite Zelda dungeons ever. Because it has the bow, which in Twilight Princess is probably one of my favorite Zelda items, which you get in the Goron Mines, because it's just so satisfying to use that bow in that iteration of the game. The idea of walking on magnetic walls and ceilings with the iron boots is just so awesome, and it really mixed up the design of the puzzles and the whole concepts behind it. One of the other really, really great things that makes the Goron Mines awesome is the way that it's clearly a part of the world, instead of just sort of being there for the sake of being a dungeon, like a lot of the other sort of dungeons in, like, I would fault Ocarina of Time for this more than any others, because Ocarina of Time is just like, oh yeah, that's the fire temple, whatever. Like, why is it there? There's no reason for it.
Well, because I think that's where they keep the thingamabob.
Thingamabob.
I'm not getting into Zelda arguments right now.
Just a lot of dungeons in Zelda, though, you have to agree.
Yeah, I know.
They just feel like they're there to be a dungeon. Wind Waker suffered from it as well, and I love Wind Waker, so but the Goron Mines, it feels like it's a living, breathing part of the world, because it has this really good industrial theming. There are Gorons hanging around inside, making it clear that, like, this is their mine, this is part of their home, this is like where they go to work, and it has a purpose in the world. It's like a thing. Instead of just random rooms, like random square rooms that have been carved into a mountain for no reason. It's rooms that have been carved into the mountain because they're mining stuff in there, and it has all those awesome like cranes with the magnets on it, and it's just it's great. I love that dungeon.
Yeah, that's fun, doesn't it?
It has one of my favorite Zelda bosses ever. It has one of my favorite Zelda items ever. It has a really good mechanic with the iron boots. It's just, it's awesome. I love it.
1.
So, Firefield is my number 1. This is the name of several tracks in the F-Zero series. There was one in the original SNES game which had mines, a lot of bends, and an annoying magnetic thingy. One in F-Zero X with a really fun high jump and boosts, and there was 2 in F-Zero GX. One was called Cylinder Knot, which is great, with going around the cylinder and lava being on top of the screen, and it's not on top, but whatever. It's pretty awesome. However, my favourite and my number 1 for this list is Firefield, I don't know how to say this, Undulation, I'm guessing is what it is. I love the wavy nature of it, and the jump pads are fun too. There's a lot of bumpy parts, and that really makes it all more intense with your screen shaking about. I love how you can keep boosting, because you can use your boost power when going onto the hill pads, and then that heals your power, which is your boost, and then you can boost again, and then there are boost pads on the track itself, so you can keep on boosting. I just love that so much, and with how the track constantly goes up and down, it makes for a very fun ride, and I love it. I love the theme of the stage too, fire swirling around you, there's machinery, lava surrounding the area, the music suits it all very well, and with all that combined with an awesome racetrack, results in one amazing fun ride.
Good. I had a look. I think I was watching the video of the one you were just talking about, and it was visually impressive. It looked really nice. Like, I was saying this to you before we started recording, like, I'm not very good at those sort of fast racing games, so I'll probably never play it, but I can appreciate from a visual perspective that, like, that track was pretty awesome looking. Like, it clearly had a lot of awesome details going into it, and it was pretty cinematic, and it looked great. So I'm definitely with you that it's definitely worthy of being your number 1. It wouldn't be mine, but it's
pretty amazing.
It does look pretty amazing, so I will give you that one. I can agree with you.
What is your number 1?
My number 1? Oh man, my number 1 is the Nether from Minecraft.
But it's not a level.
It's not a level. It's a world. Oh, whatever. Shut up. The Nether's just generally awesome. I tend to play Minecraft in hardcore mode, and so the Nether gives me just this challenge to work to, because if you don't know, hardcore mode, basically everything does a lot more damage to you. The difficulty is set to like hard, and if you die, your level deletes itself without you have no
Christ.
choice. It just deletes itself. So the Nether, it's this huge lava world, and it's pretty epic. It's full of crazy awesome stuff. It makes cobblestone useful because gas can't blow up cobblestone for some reason. So like the one thing that I end up amassing a huge amount of finally becomes useful in the Nether. So I'm usually quite happy about that. It's just this dreary hellscape, and it becomes really intense unless you're a puss and you're playing on survival mode or creative and you can respawn. But if you're brave enough to play on hardcore, it becomes this constant reminder that you could lose everything you've worked towards just in a heartbeat. Just gas and blazes will cut your health like in half with one hit. Magma cubes can come out of just nowhere, just 360 no scope you, completely out of nowhere, ruin your day, and just like even beds can kill you in the Nether.
Yeah.
You click on a bed and you just explode. Why? Why, Notch? Why?
I remember my friends trolling one of my other friends doing it, like, just sleep in the bed and you'll save your game.
Oh man, it's great. Just like nowhere is safe in the Nether. You can't even drop water buckets to help yourself because they just evaporate instantly. Like, it's this amazing, intense, hardcore experience, and I love it. It's such a great addition to the game, and it's such a great world to go to and explore. So
yeah, the Nether's great, definitely.
That is why the Nether is my number one fire level. Yours is
Firefield Undulation, or whatever.
and mine's the Nether, and this has been 8-Brit. Those were our top 8 fire levels in video games. Do you have anything to add at the end? Don't follow Chris on Twitter.
But yeah, thanks for listening, and hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.
Hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think in the comments. Dislike, comment, unsubscribe. This is 8-Brit. I've been Dan. You've been Chris. And we're
Chris.
signing off. Goodbye.
Bye. So you're basically flying through, which I can't speak today. What's wrong with me?
Dunno. Everything.
Anyway, can I start this solo bit again?
Yeah, start the Star Fox bit again, you idiot.
One of the more memorable levels in the Galaxy games for sure is Freeze Flame Galaxy.
Do you want to take 2 on that? Because you really flubbed that, didn't you?
You
were just like, the most memorable Galaxy games. Start again, Chris.
I'm on edge here.
You're on the edge. You're under pressure now.
I'm Freddie Mercury. Featuring David Bowie. Anyway. So, one of the more memorable levels in the oh my god.
You can't do it, can you?
No. This is the worst recording ever.